Okay, so as we discussed, today's topic is how the finance professional can transition their career from from finance professionals to SAP FICO consultants. Before I start, those of you who are listening to me for the first time, or those of you who don't know about me, so my name is Vikram, and I have around 15 years of experience in SAP consulting. I worked on various different modules from the SAP finance point of view. Also have a lot of good understanding and the experience in some of the logistics modules also, like MMSD, PPPS, and from last 6 to 7 years, I am also running my own company where we take the global projects, and it is not only about a particular module. So be it an implementation project, we worked on various implementation projects, we worked on various different support projects. We are also having current pool of resources where we are helping the customers implementing and supporting their SAP instances. And in addition to the core modules like SAP FI, CO, MM, SD, there are some advanced modules, or there are some niche modules available in the market like SAP RAR, SAP FSCM, right? SAP Central Finance. Those are also some of the things where we are working, and we got a very good understanding of those components. And we are working on many projects on these advanced things also. From the training point of view, I'm conducting this kind of trainings from last 7 to 8 years. So initially, I used to give the training on SAP ECC, but from last around 6 years, I'm completely into the SAP S4 HANA related trainings. Okay, so that is about me. Now let's talk about what exactly is SAP. So as I told you, I'm not sure how many of you are completely new to SAP, how many of you are already working as a SAP consultant, how many of you are already using SAP in your current company. Okay, so that is the reason I'm just keeping this one slide. So those of you who are not aware about SAP, let's start with the basics. So SAP, it stands for Systems, Applications and Products in Data Processing. This is a full form of SAP. First of all, it is SAP. It is not SAP or SAP. Normally, I've seen many people who are new to these terminologies. They use the pronunciation wrongly. So it is SAP. It stands for System, Applications and Products in Data Processing. It is a ERP software, right? So SAP, the single definition, if someone asks what exactly is SAP, SAP is a ERP software. Now, what exactly is ERP software? ERP stands for Enterprise Resource Planning. What do you mean by Enterprise Resource Planning? Enterprise Resource Planning software is a software, okay, definitely it also falls under the category of software, but it is a software which is not designed for the specific purpose. Okay, it is not only for example, you have a separate software for finance, you have a separate software for purchase, you have a separate software for let's say sales, you have another software for payroll. So if you are using different softwares, okay, for different departments within your organization, then you are not utilizing the power of ERP. When we say ERP, it is a software which is used across the organizations. So single software like SAP, which can be implemented in the organization, and all the departments of those organizations will be sharing the common software. That is a basic difference between the normal software and ERP software. Normal softwares are for specific purpose, specific department of the organization. But when we talk about ERP is a software which is not only taking care of the specific department, but it is taking care of the entire organization. Multiple departments within the organization use the same system, which is called as ERP, right? So SAP is one of the ERP. We are not saying that SAP is only the ERP, but if you see in the market, who is the top player in the ERP industry? It is, the name is always SAP. So you talk about any big companies, okay, not only big, even the mid size, but let's focus on big first. You talk about any big company which comes to your mind in terms of any industry. Okay, it is not only for manufacturing, or it is not only for telecommunication, or it is not only for service based companies. You talk about any company, you will find maybe 8 out of 10 customers in that particular industry are using SAP. Top companies, right? I'm not talking about the small scale companies, I'm talking about the big companies, right? So you take example of Walmart, you take the example of Apple, you take the example of Google, you will find SAP is being used everywhere in each and every company. 8 out of 10 at least, right? So it is the biggest ERP software available in the market. Okay, it was developed by the German company. It is a SAP SE is a company name which is in Germany, and it integrates various business functions, processes, and data into the unified system. As I told you, various business processes like sales, purchase, finance, HR, payroll, everything under one single unified system. Okay, and what are the different modules that also we discussed? So finance, supply chain, human capitals management. These are the three categories. These are the three operations. Now within finance, there are n number of modules. Within supply chain, purchase, sales, production, quality management, plant maintenance, there are n number of modules within supply chain, and also there are n number of modules in HCM, human capitals management. So starting with the attendance management to payroll management to employee management, all the things are considered under human capitals management, right? So it is, to summarize, SAP is the biggest ERP software available in the entire world today. It is a German based company who has developed this product, and it is being used all over the world. Okay, now what exactly is SAP FICO? In this session we are focusing on FICO, whatever you want to call it as. So what exactly is SAP FICO? SAP FICO, it actually stands for two different terminologies. FI stands for financial accounting and CO stands for controlling. As I told you, within finance, there are n number of modules, and we are only talking about the basic two modules. Okay, FI is a very basic. This is a starting point. Once you are done with this financial accounting, then you can go for controlling, then you can go for financial supply chain management, you can go for real estate management. There are n number of small modules which are available in SAP within the finance domain. So these two modules are the core modules which each and every company utilizes. You will never see a company who will say, no, I don't want to implement finance, I don't want to implement controlling. Whoever is implementing SAP, financial accounting is a basic. If they are not implementing a financial accounting, then there is no point of implementing SAP, right? So financial accounting is one module which is implemented for each and every customer who is implementing SAP. There is no choice, right? Same 80% of the time, even if the basic functionalities are activated, CO is also used. Okay, so these are the two important modules which are always implemented by the customers who are implementing SAP. Now, what is the difference between financial accounting and controlling? I think that is the reason I told you, if you are a finance professional, you will be able to understand these terminologies very well. Okay, if you are coming from the finance background, either through the experience or through the knowledge, you might be knowing the basic difference between financial accounting and management accounting. What is financial accounting is FI, what is management accounting is CO. Financial accounting means whatever reports or financial statements that you need to generate for external authorities, your auditors, your stakeholders, your tax authorities, where you need to submit the profit and loss, balance sheet, all those things are considered under FI. On the other hand, CO is management accounting. Management accounting means what? Internal reporting. Okay, what is internal reporting? Internal reporting means you want to know what is a let's say cost of a particular department. What are the total expenses of a specific department? How much was total expense done on travel by, let's say, HR department or IT department, right? This is internal reporting. This results you don't need to show to the external world. So that comes under management accounting. Similarly, what is my cost of manufacturing the product? If you are manufacturing the product, if you are a manufacturing company, what is the cost of product manufacturing? So all those things which are internal, those comes under CO. So these are the two very good modules in SAP, which as a finance professional, you will be able to learn in a very better way, right? Now, let's go to why. First of all, why we are here. Okay, we know that SAP is a German company. It is a very big software which is used all across the world. We also know that FI and CO, these are the two components which are suitable for the finance professionals. But why should we change? We are already happy with whatever we are doing. We are a finance professional. I'm working as a manager, as a senior manager in accounting, whatever. Right? But why should we consider to move our career to SAP FICO consultant? The thing is, I think everybody knows technology is replacing the domain, right? So if you are a domain expert, if you are doing your activities, you are definitely using one of the software. If you are accountant or a senior accountant, at the end of the day, you are definitely using the software. So as of today, you are using that software as a user, right? You are using that software. Maybe some of you are already using SAP. You are doing your day-to-day task like generating the financial statements, making the accounts payable entries, accounts receivable entries. Maybe you are already doing this all these things. Okay, if not in SAP, then maybe you are using Tally, then maybe you are using some other ERP software where you are doing these transactions. But as of now, you are a consumer. You are just using what is available in SAP, which is already activated in SAP, right? But as I told you, the technology is going to replace what you are doing today. Already, maybe even if not, uh, I'm not talking about the future. Today, also, you might be able to see in your organization that whatever are the basic tasks that a user was doing, there are a lot of things like uh, implemented to automate those particular things. So it is always better if you want to grow in your career, it is always better to learn from the technology point of view. Okay, so this is one chance where from your finance domain, with good understanding of the finance domain, you will be able to utilize that domain experience or domain knowledge to become a successful SAP consultant, right? So, yeah. So, what I was talking about is why to choose SAP as a career, SAP FICO as a consulting career. So, I already told you because technology is replacing, and then what are the other benefits? So, if I talk about the technology, also, there are a lot of other ways where you can start your career as a technology consultant. But what are the different options within SAP, or why exactly SAP consulting is a career choice? First of all, high demand, right? I think all of you agree. SAP demand is growing day by day. There are a lot of demands, there are a lot of opportunities available for the SAP FICO consultants all over the world, especially when SAP is bringing the new features. There is always a demand because whenever SAP brings the new feature, there are very less resources who are able to implement those features. So it is always a continuous learning, right? That point is also here, continuous learning. Even today, I cannot say that whatever knowledge I have, I'll be able to survive for next 5 years. Okay, definitely surviving is fine, but if I want to grow, the growth is only possible when I keep on learning the new things, right? If I just stop that, okay, whatever I know till today, I will use this for my entire life. Definitely, I'll be able to survive at whatever I'm doing, but there will not be any growth, right? So SAP provides you that option because within SAP there are a lot of new features that SAP is bringing every year or every quarter, and what you need to do is you need to adopt those new learnings in order to start using it and make the growth in your career. Okay, there are diverse opportunities all over the world, cross functional skills. Okay, so it is not only that you are only learning a particular module. You will start with FI. If you want to grow in the career, you can simply start with CO after few years. Then you can learn SAP, maybe MM and SD integration with SAP FI. So there is a continuous learning and there is a learning from the cross functional side. It is not only that one thing you are learning again and again. You are learning the lot of new things within the cross functional domain. Global reach, all over the world the demand is there. Problem solving skills, okay, career progression, obviously job stability. You will find that most of the time it is very rare when SAP consultants are fired. Okay, obviously if the consultant is not serious enough, definitely they'll be fired, but because of the demand the consultant is fired, that is a very rare opportunity, right? And you are contributing to the business efficiency. So as a FICO consultant, if I'm working for a company, helping them implement SAP, helping them providing the day-to-day support, I am not only helping them in using the existing SAP software, but I'm also helping them in making sure to implement the new functionalities which are coming from SAP, which allows the business efficiency, right? So it is not only that okay, there is a high demand, there is a high salary. There are a lot of other things that from the future point of view, there is a continuous learning, that too cross functional, global reach. So here if you are stuck in India and maybe some of you want to go for the global opportunities, there are a lot of global opportunities also available. Okay, and then obviously whatever you are doing, it is ultimately making the business efficient, so you are supporting the companies to use the right tools so that the company grows and they allow you to grow. Okay, now the final one, I kept it very short. The final one, why finance knowledge or experience can help you start SAP FICO. So how strong you are today to jumpstart your career as a SAP FICO consultant. See, first of all, I don't want to demotivate those who, I'm not sure how many of you are attending this session without the finance knowledge. But what I want to tell you very clearly is definitely there are some advantages if you are directly coming from the finance background. So I'll give you two example. Let's say a completely new person who has no experience at all, okay, who has no knowledge at all, maybe coming from the engineering background or coming from some other background. If this consultant asks me, sir, can I become SAP consultant, SAP FICO consultant? I still tell them yes. Why? Because if you want to become a SAP FICO consultant, it is not necessary that you already have the finance knowledge, you already have the accounting knowledge. But what I mean is, if you want to become a SAP FI consultant, you should be ready to learn whatever it takes from the finance point of view. You cannot become the SAP FICO consultant without saying, okay, I don't want to understand what is profit and loss. I don't want to understand what is balance sheet. I don't know what are the global accounting principles. If you don't know, completely fine. But are you ready to learn it? Right? If you are ready to learn it, then you can go with SAP FICO. So what I mean to say here is those guys who are coming from non-finance background, they first need to learn the basics of accounting. They need to learn what is profit and loss, what is balance sheet, all the terminologies, because on the day-to-day basis, they are going to interact with the business users. Now, if you are calling yourself a SAP FICO consultant and your business is giving you one requirement that I want my balance sheet to appear like this, and then you are saying, oh, maybe in your mind you are thinking, I don't know what is balance sheet, what is the difference between balance sheet and a profit and loss, then definitely you cannot become a good SAP FICO consultant. So you should learn the basics of accounting and then you can become the SAP FICO consultant. And that is the reason in my course, whenever, I'm not sure how many of you already follow me on the course or maybe you already taken the courses, what I do in each and every session before go on to the SAP screens, I make sure that you understand the business knowledge, right? You understand from the accounting point of view. For example, when I'm talking about account receivable, so before going to the system directly, I need to explain you what exactly is account receivable, what exactly is accounts payable, what are invoices, what are credit notes, what are payments, what are down payments. Those things first you need to understand from the accounting perspective. If you are clear with that, the SAP screens will become very easy. So this was for those guys who are non-finance background. Now think about if you are already a finance professional, right? So you already have a very good understanding of the financial processes. I don't need to teach you, or even if I teach, you don't need to be like uh, you are not completely new to it. You are able to understand the terminologies, profit and loss, balance sheet, trial balance, all these things are very familiar with you. Then it will become very easy because you only need to understand the SAP screens. From the business process point of view, you already have a very good knowledge. So that is one of the biggest benefit that the finance professional brings when they convert to SAP FICO consultant. Number two is understanding the user's perspective. So if I am a consultant, I need to spend so much time with the end users who are actually going to use the SAP system. Now, if I am coming from IT background or if I am coming from some other background, or I don't have any experience at all in working in the corporates, then I don't have the perspective of the user. I don't know how the user thinks. Okay, it is not easy for me to discuss with the users. It is not easy for me to understand what exactly he is asking for. But if you are a finance professional, you have already been the users. If you are the accountants, you are already the users today. So you know, whenever you are going to support the user, you know, okay, I have gone through your situation. I know what exactly you are looking for, right? So that communication or understanding becomes very easy. As a consultant, if you are already having a domain experience, if you already know how the accounts work, you know the user's perspective, it is very easy for you to sit and discuss with the end user, understand their challenges, and not only understand their challenges, ultimately what you want to do is mapping the business requirements. So you understood the requirements. You now also, currently your situation is you only know the business requirement. You know the user's perspective. You have good understanding of financials. But once you go through the SAP FICO courses, you'll be having the good understanding of the technology also. So what you are going to do, if you have the knowledge of processes and technology, you are going to map the business requirements. You are going to tell the user, okay, I understood your requirement. This is how in SAP this can be done. Okay. Today, you might not be able in that position to tell how SAP works, but after the trainings, after the certification, maybe once you become a good SAP FICO consultant, you will be very able, very at the very better position from today to explain them how it will work in SAP. Okay, so that is mapping the business requirements. Integration of other modules. So if you are already a end user, you also know a lot of time you discuss with the purchase department how purchasing is impacting the accounting. Many times you are discussing with the sales department. So you also have the integration knowledge from the business process point of view. In SAP, you will learn the integration with other modules and you will be able to support the cross-functional teams. Okay, effective communication with stakeholder. I think this is similar because you understand the user's perspective and you will be in the better position to communicate with the stakeholders because you know their perspective, because you know you are not completely new to SAP. You know how the business processes works. You will be able to communicate well with the purchasing department. You will be able to communicate with the sales department because from the communication point of view, you don't hesitate because you are already doing it in your current job. Think about it. I'm just giving the example. I am a consultant. Okay. I came from some other background. I don't have finance domain, but I understood SAP FICO very well. I have a very good understanding from the technology point of view. Even if I am confident, when I am asked, if my company asks me to go and discuss with the cross functional teams, when I go there, my confidence will always be down. Why? Because I never done that. Although I'm good in SAP, but I don't know the user's perspective. I don't know how purchasing department, sales department, finance department actually integrates. I know from the system point of view, but actually how this discussion happens, what are the different ways to communicate with them. But if you are an end user, you are already doing it day to day basis. You already know how SD, FI, they are connected to each other, how the communication happens. So as a consultant, that part also you will be a lot of confidence. I have seen this happening in the industry. Okay, if you are coming from the background of consulting, sorry, as an end user, not only from FI point of view, I'm talking about the other modules also. So someone who has worked in the domain of purchasing, he'll be very confident to speak in front of the crowd, in front of the stakeholders, because he is new to SAP, but he is not new to the business. He's already in the business from last many years, right? So that is another important thing. And finally, process improvement. If I'm a consultant, if I don't understand the business properly, I will be only able to provide you the solutions which you ask. Think about it. I'm a consultant, you are my end user. You tell me, sir, I want feature A, I will activate feature A. You tell me I want feature B, I will activate feature B. But if I have been your path, I already know I have a lot of experience. Let's say I have 3 or 4 years, 5 years experience. And I came from the company where I was working in the accounting department. So I already know he will ask for A, he will ask for B, and even the C is important for him, but he don't know. Maybe he will ask after a few months because that was important to us. We have developed that in our last project. You're getting it? So if you are already gone through that path, you are in the very better position, not only helping with their requirements, but also tell them what are the other requirements which they may come in future. And you can improve the processes and you can optimize the processes. Okay, so I hope you got a clarity now how SAP Finance is the consulting career, which is very much suitable for the finance professionals. How easy it is for finance professional to quickly shift their focus onto the SAP consulting. Okay, but now let me come to the sad part. I'll not say sad part, but you need to also learn this because these things nobody else will tell you. See, you already spent a lot of time. Let's say you have 3 years, 5 years, 10 years of experience in the finance domain. Now, when you are going to start your career as a SAP FICO consultant, companies will look you as a fresher, right? Most of the companies, I will not say all, but most of the companies, they will say, see, we know you have a finance background. We know you are a very good accountant, but our requirement is not accounting. Our requirement is what? Our requirement is SAP consultant, and that experience you don't have. So initially, few years, first 1 or 2 years, there is a struggle. Okay, if you are only thinking from the short term point of view that okay, immediately after my course I should be able to get a job. If I'm not getting the job, then it is not going to help. All these things are fine, but those thinking is short term. Okay, if you think from the long term perspective that maybe I'll start it today, I will start with the learning of SAP FICO, maybe I'll get certified also. After certification I will keep on looking for the opportunities, and maybe I will join only that company where they are considering my past experience. Or maybe I will even go for a job which is not considering my old experience, but I know that it is just a matter of 1 or 2 years. Once I get the experience of 1 or 2 years into SAP consulting, then I don't need to look behind. I'm already in the technology now, right? So those are the decisions that you have to make. Okay, it is not like okay, I registered for the course, I'll become a SAP FICO consultant. That is not the case. If anyone is telling you we will give you 100% job placement, this that, those things never worked in any industry. It will not work in SAP industry also, right? So you have to be sure that if you are starting, you are giving enough time. The first point should be learning, learning, learning. Let's not focus on how you are going to utilize that learning. If you learn something, definitely you'll be able to utilize it, right? Even when I learned SAP, I was not knowing where exactly I'm going to utilize it. I learned SAP, and my first opportunity in SAP I got only after 3 to 4 years.